At the moment, I'm on my way to SKUKUZA Rest Camp, where I'll be staying for the next 4 nights. I can't tell you guys how excited I am to be making this video. I'm in the park for a decent amount of time, so hopefully I have some good sightings. And I'll be filming everything. I'm going to show you guys as much as possible. Welcome to the video, guys, and I hope you enjoy it. When I arrived at SKUKUZA, I made sure to find a nice shady campsite, and while I was setting up, I was watched by this beautiful southern triagama. There had been a lot of rain around SKUKUZA, and this braai stand looked like a bird bath. Because it's late November, it is really warm when the sun shines. Luckily, I got a campsite and some nice shade. Not a lot of people camping at the moment at SKUKUZA. I think people usually avoid the hot summer months. This afternoon I've decided to drive south of SKUKUZA Rest Camp towards Afzal picnic site. I like doing this route in the afternoons. It's generally quieter than the roads east and west from SKUKUZA. These lions had recently caught this giraffe and they spent all afternoon feeding on it. I counted 8 individual lions here, and it was really special to hear them interacting with one another at their dinner table. After spending most of the afternoon with those lions feeding on the giraffe, I decided to head back to SKUKUZA, but I made sure to first stop at the Delaport Waterhole a few kilometers south of the rest camp. I can't believe the start that I've had to my Kruger trip. That lion looked like it wasn't going to do anything, and out of nowhere, a female appeared and they ran off into the bushes. I need to head back to SKUKUZA now, or I'm going to be late. After sunset, there was a pair of African black ducks which were visible from in front of the camp's restaurant. This is not a common species to see in the park. Here's a look at the route that I chose to drive this morning. Quite a long one, but I've had success on it in the past. this clan of spotted hyenas making their way back home after a night out on patrol. When they were done checking me out, I made my way to the low water bridge over the Sand River, where I enjoyed watching the bird life. It's just gone 6:30. Had the fleeting glimpse of a leopard passing down into a dry riverbed and up the other side, but then it disappeared. At the moment I'm parked on the big bridge on the H12 that goes over the Sabi River, and there's some hippos in the water here next to me. Last night I set up a motion camera next to my tent to see what comes past the campsite, and a honey badger came and inspected the camera, and there were also jennets that passed by. They weren't too curious. With temperatures moving into the 30s, I was lucky to get a distant but open visual of this male leopard before he made his way into the shade of this tamboti tree. While I've been in the campsite waiting for things to cool down, a flock of 7 or 8 violet-backed starlings came past, and they were in the tree that the blue-headed agama lizard was in yesterday when I arrived. And the starlings were feeding on these yellow and green worms or caterpillars that are in the tree, and there are also a few that I saw on the tent. And it's just gone 3:30 now. I'm gonna go for a drive soon when things cool down a little bit more. This video was made possible by making use of the MotionMount to stabilize my camera and lens when filming from inside of the vehicle. If you're interested in this product, visit the website and order yours today. I spent most of the afternoon in the campsite at SKUKUZA hiding from the midday heat. Temperatures in November can get quite high, and there's really no point driving around sometimes during the heat of the day. The mammals, they retreat into the shade and only get active again when the temperatures cool down. But now it's just gone 4:30 and I'm doing a similar drive compared to the one that I did this morning, down towards the S21, and then I'm going to make a U-turn and head back up towards SKUKUZA. I haven't seen much besides this big troop of chukma baboons. there are so many baby impalas around. This time of year, late November, after the first summer rains of the season, it's quite common to see hundreds, literally hundreds, of these little guys running around. And this is something that you only see during the summer season. Impalas don't give birth any other time of year. Nothing really resembles the Kruger during this time of year more than the call of the woodland kingfisher and all these baby impalas. It's really special. And of course, everything is green. Later that evening, the honey badger made an appearance in the campsite. It was only a brief visit. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my third day in the park. I've just arrived here at the gate and I'm second in the queue. It's just gone 4:10 and I'm going to head south from SKUKUZA to the H11 and then the H3 towards Afzal picnic site, the same route that I did on the first afternoon. And I'm surprised there aren't more cars in the queue now. Yesterday I was about 6 cars back, so I really expected there to be a few cars waiting in the line before I arrived here. A quiet day yesterday in terms of the cat sightings. Those 2 leopards that were quite far off in the morning, but none in the afternoon. And I checked the trail camera. I put it in the same place that I put it last night, which is underneath the braai stand, and nothing came past. That was the same male lion that I filmed on the first afternoon, and this morning there were 2 females, not just one. And I can remember I filmed a male lion at that waterhole a few years ago and also had a broken tail, so I think it's the same male lion. It's an overcast day today. Looks like it's going to be much cooler than yesterday. A good day for game viewing. I'm sure the animals will stay active for much, much longer. Hopefully I've got the luck to go with it. As always, there were plenty of birds to see around the biodiversity weir and good opportunities for photos and videos. Here at the biodiversity weir, The birds are higher up and you're lower down. When I arrived, there weren't any birds here, but I parked the car and waited for about 15 minutes. Black crake arrived, striated heron, three-banded plover, and while I was filming the pied kingfisher that's just flown across now, you could hear lions roaring in the background. I did have a short drive about 200 meters north of here just to have a look to see if I could see them, but I couldn't. And the black crake came so close to the car, I thought he was going to hop in. He was walking along the water's edge, not even a meter away from the car door. Earlier this morning I saw a baboon feeding on the fruit of the sausage tree, the sausage fruit. And I haven't seen this sort of thing before. The only animal I've seen feeding on this fruit is the brown-headed parrot. But I can't imagine that this thing tastes nice. It looks really difficult to get into. Okay, have a look at this. I was busy walking from the campsite to the shop, and I've seen a sausage tree here. This is the same fruit that the baboon was feeding on. And I thought I'd just show you guys how strange it looks. And I can't reach that one. Here's one on the floor. And it must weigh a few kgs. I think as South Africans that have visited the Kruger a few times, we don't realize how funny that fruit looks. Big, sort of elongated potatoes hanging from a tree, and I'm telling you, if that falls on your head, you're gonna have a hard time afterwards.
When I got back to the site, I found this juvenile southern tree agama underneath my camp chair. I was a little bit worried about him, but when I placed him on the tree, I saw that everything was fine.
This afternoon I'm going to head south of SKUKUZA and then west, north up the S65 and then loop around the S1, H11 back to SKUKUZA. Hopefully I can get lucky.
There were two leopards at the sighting who were both feeding on the impala, and although it wasn't the most open visual, there was still a lot of activity and it was quite close to the road. Definitely the best leopard sighting of the trip so far. A great way to end another day in the Kruger National Park. Later that evening I was certain that I had seen an owl, but it was just a male vervet monkey.
Morning guys, welcome to my fourth day in the park. It's just gone 4:10 and I'm the second car here waiting at the gate. I checked the night camera from last night and it looks like an African civet, honey badger and genet all came past. I didn't think civets walked around the camp during the night. This morning I'm thinking I'm going to head back towards the S65 and see if those leopards from yesterday are still around. But yeah, I'm excited to see what today has in store. It looks like it's going to be a warm day. It's already quite bright.
I thought this male lion was about to vanish into the bushveld, but luckily I knew the general direction he was heading and knew there was a small body of water that he may drink from, so I drove ahead and set up and waited for him to arrive. Luckily he did. His two brothers were about 400 meters away, lying in the middle of the tar road. And when they heard him calling, they immediately stood up to see which direction it was coming from. It didn't take them long to move off into the bushes.
It really has been a lion-filled morning. First, those 3 big males on the tar road, the S1, and now these 2 female lions at the same spot where I saw those 2 leopards yesterday afternoon. I was hoping to see the leopards again this morning, and I was waiting at that granite boulder when the 2 female lions came walking past. And I've actually filmed one of those big male lions before. In May, when I visited the park with my dad, it was walking south along the S65. Marking its territory, and we followed it for a few kilometers before it rested on the side of the road. But yeah, an unbelievable start to the morning. It's just gone 10 o'clock and I'm heading towards Nkutlu picnic site. After that, I'm going to turn around and go back to SKUKUZA. It's really warm. It's definitely the hottest day of the trip so far. I'm sure most of the animals have found some shade and are only going to get active again once things cool down later. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to get back at around 11:30 and probably only go on a drive again at around 4 o'clock.
At Nkutlu picnic site, these greater blue-eared starlings were nesting in a tree in the car park. Really interesting to see them moving out of the hollow.
So even though I'm camping underneath these two trees, the Tamboti and Cape Ash, this gazebo that I've got has really made a difference. I can't imagine camping without it. Maybe in the winter months when it's a bit cooler, but today is the first day of summer, so it's definitely needed. And while I've been sitting here, a little sparrowhawk came flying past, and it sat still long enough for me to get the camera out of the car and film it. Unfortunately, I didn't have my tripod with me, so the footage isn't the most stable. I'm gonna go for a drive soon. I can't believe it's already my 4th and final night at SKUKUZA. Tomorrow I'm going to Croc Bridge for another 4 nights, and then to Bergendal. So I decided for this afternoon's drive I'd go along the tar road towards Lower Sabi. Driving along the Sabi River is a real highlight when staying at SKUKUZA. There's just so much to see here. That really is the sound of summer in the Kruger National Park. And this time of year is really the best time to hear the woodlands kingfisher. It's when it's just returned from its migration to spend the summer in southern Africa.
These bronzewing coursers are a nocturnal species, and it was only my 3rd time seeing them in the park. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what you thought about it. See you guys in the next one.